Hello, everyone. All right. Hello. Oh my god. Incredible chat. Incredible chat. Ugh. Whoa. Hold on. Good enough. OMG, is this the real handsome bong? Oh. Stop it, you. Would you like to be in stream, Volgan? No biggie if you're busy. I'm just gonna be drawing is all, so there's gonna be a bit of not being able to read all the stream questions, you know. It happens, it happens. Yeah, this is what we're doing today. It's all working? I hope it's all working on the stream, like it's all... Okay, good. It's all projecting the same thing. I'm about to sleep, but I hopped on to say that your SCP videos are absolutely amazing. Thank you, Black Jesus 327. I always wanted to hear it from you. You high? Yeah, a little bit. Bong, a quick question. Can I smash, please? Can you smash? Oh, I think that's a compliment. Sup, Connor? Just dropping by. Good evening. Good evening, Tio Verunda. Good luck with the animating, Bung. Thank you, no you. Oh, I should have just said no you. That would have been well funny. Please describe the shape of the Earth. Oh man, it's just big. Give us a hint for the next video. Might come out. I can be heard right now. Yeah, okay. Should be working now. I love you, Bung. Please tell me, how is it possible to be that handsome? Oh, it's very sweet of you, Diego. Whoa. Hey, Bung, you know Joe? Oh no, I know what comes after that. Hollow Jack, I returned this time with more sand. Also, hi Bung, do you remember me? I do remember you, Hollow Jack. Even in my current state. I remember you very well. Ugh, okay. Now, what I have before you is a bunch of designs. I'm gonna be doing all of them. Probably not this stream, but I'm going to be doing all of them, so it isn't a choice thing, is what I'm trying to say. I have, I need a bunch of dead Connors, essentially, like Connors that have died over a long period of time for this coming episode. So, a few ideas I had, and I'm literally gonna be like, making hundreds of these. One of them is just like a simple like shot with a laser. Oh, thank you for the $2 again. $2 again. Hollow Jack. My brain was like, there's a word you have to say again from the past hour, and it was $2. So here we have Connor been shot through the chest with a laser and through the head, and I kind of wanted all the angles for that. I think that'll be fun to draw. These will all be background Connors though. We have this pirate Connor where he's just gotten like an eye patch and a bit of tuft of hair he got probably from another Connor and taped it to his face. And I imagine it would just have to be that he found this jacket and thought, okay, well, I'm Pirate Connor now. This is from that Junji Ito comic, the Eternal Dream or something like that, where it's like that thing that infects you when you fall asleep, and then you just have dreams where you're living this entire life, and meanwhile your body is kind of rotting into this like crusty rye bread, a tiger loaf looking ass. I wanted to do a tribute to that, put a little cute little nightcap on, because I think that's funny. Will episode 8 be long? Because it took you a little. It did take me a little, but a lot of that had to do with personal stuff that was going on in my life. But this episode will be long, so yeah. Plus the fact that this is hard to make, plus the fact that a lot of stuff happened in my life at a certain point in the past that got in the way, you know, with this. And it's only fairly recently that I've gotten back on board with this. If you're a patron, then you could just read through the terrible cascade of updates on my Patreon, seeing what's happened. It's not too personal, it's just, you know, I owe it to my patrons to let them know at least. Just want to let you know that you make great videos. Thank you, little Ferb. Little Ferb. Fucking excellent name. Don't worry, this is decaf. This is caffeine free. I'm treating myself tonight. Next episode next week maybe? Question mark? No. Fuck no. Oh god, no. Hey, look, Bung's doing some tasks. Hey, who called an emergency meeting? Oh. Fuck, I thought it was gonna be related. You got me there. Oh fuck, why am I should have been sober for this. Hey, glad to see you healthy. Thank you. Well, I'm actually sick right now, so I'm kind of dealing with it pretty poorly, but dealing with it nonetheless. I'm still getting work done. As you can see, I wanted to try some of this on stream. But I've always been against it just because it's hard for me to read, stream, and draw at the same time. So if somebody maybe joins me in call, I might do this. I mean, I'm gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna be doing both. I didn't get enough work done today, so I'm gonna do this on stream. Okay, so anyway, what was I up to? So this is an Junji Ito reference. The Uzumaki manga. I wanted to do a reference to that, where Connor died of the swirlies, you know? The weird. Look at his fucking arms and legs and his shoes. Oh wait, whoa. Got him. Got his ass. Fucking got him, dude. And then I wanted a Connor just with a neck brace and one of these. One of these. And here's an idea I had for a while. It was just like yeah, I mean, you could kind of see what happened. A big saber-toothed tiger bit Connor's head off, but then somebody shot the tiger, and so now there's just a corpse out there with with these. This will come as a package together. All right, so I'm gonna just do this one for now. This one, this is Connor's like current. You can see the dark lines. This is Connor's current design. I sort of reshaped it so that's a bit less pointy with his hair and stuff. Because these are done with a drawing tablet instead of a mouse. I'll get a asset of Connor from episode 1 just to show you the difference, or even just like the episode previous, because this is the first episode I'm doing this. Alright, come on, get Connor out here. Alright, so this is an asset of Connor from episode 1. 1 to 6. And you see how all of these lines are like sort of perfect, you know, kind of like, so, you know, designed in a less loosey drawing way. That's because I used the bendy tool. And oh, thank you for the 99 cents, Caleb Tarman. That's a cute little black cat or marsupial or something. So this is him with spiky straight hair, and then this is the design that I'm sort of moving towards, because more and more things that I've been drawing as the series goes on has been in using this drawing tablet, because it's been a tremendous help to me. And it helps get the idea and the art across better, I think, in my opinion. So it only makes sense that at some point I'm going to have to redraw all the characters to suit them. But this design was ages ago. I already did all this. Anyway, what was he doing? Right. Okay. So I don't end up wasting time. I usually just take the pieces that I don't need to redraw and put them into the thingy, into the final outline, and then I could just draw the rest around it, you see? Oxygen? It's just someone just says oxygen question mark. Hey Bong, nice haircut. Thank you. Wait, how's my hair look right now? Oh, it's wet right now. Oh, Matt. Thank you for the $2. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Thank you for being there for me. See, if you look at Malrinky's icon, it's another picture of space. That was a part of space that I was flying through before, and we kind of became friends. Although I don't know how many of you noticed, but like, I try to make it look like that my ship was projecting my drawing onto space. You know what I mean? See, like these lines here? I don't know. Maybe somebody noticed and thought it was cute. Let's see. Have you ever watched Over the Garden Wall? Yes, it is fucking fantastic. Brian saws $10. I love Connor, and of course, Connor's creator, the one and only Lord Bung. Oh, I love you too, Brian Saws. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, Brian Saws. Bung, how do I send you fan art? Well, you can tag me on Instagram or Twitter. It should be up in my channel info, like in the banner when you go to my channel. Ow. I most likely see it on Twitter if you at me at Twitter. For some reason tagging doesn't seem to work as well. Hey Bung, you see blue vent? Oh shit, dude. Oh, I'm too busy drawing and streaming to see any one vent right now. I'm drawing and streaming at the same time. This is not natural. Because I like talking with the chat. What's your Insta? It will be at Who Rung the Dung, one word. Have you ever watched Love, Death, Robots? Yep. Well, some of it. I saw the ones that my friends said were good. And I didn't really like the ones that I watched outside of that selection. How do you watch The Boys from Amazon Prime? If you didn't need to watch it, it's good. If you didn't, you need to watch it, it's good. It was a confusing question to read. Please, I'm for fucking high right now. I have seen The Boys on Amazon Prime. I am still seeing The Boys on Amazon Prime. How's the Endless Space going? It's going exactly alright. I forgot if space was meant to be a metaphor for something in this stream. Probably. Alright. Nailed it. He's trapped in space forever. That's me. I'm out here. Nobody could arrest me for using drugs in space. just won't let me. Ugh, NASA just won't let me launch while I'm baked. That's the problem. Hey Bung, quick question. How much sand can Connor hold inside of him before he explodes? No, it's not a weird question. Chad, you're weird. Thank you for the hollow Jack, $5. And I would say, did we used to stuff dead bodies with sand when they died? It was sawdust I'm thinking of. We don't do that anymore, but it was sawdust. I don't know. Sand's kind of rough. Kind of, quote Anakin. I mean, it's kind of a rough thing to think about going inside a body, you know? Whoa. Ew. I need a tissue. Oh, they're back there. Fuck it, man. This music's kind of loud though, but I like it. Alright, what was I drawing? That's what I was drawing. I have no idea how you can draw while you're high. Laugh my ass off. I can never draw while I'm drunk, but I guess it's different. It is a little different. I can draw while I'm high. It's but I find that it doesn't actually have to do with the fact that I'm high or the fact that I'm sober. That affects my mood for drawing. My mood for drawing just is something that I can kind of activate most times. Being high, though, you get to explore different things that maybe you weren't even ready to explore yet in terms of being creative. Because, you know, the issue with being creative is that you can literally do anything you want. And you get frustrated the less out of the box you think. Because it's not easy, you know? It's not easy to think out of the box. You have to make yourself really uncomfortable. You have to do things that you don't even think are relevant enough to label as relevant already. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense. But yeah. It's crazy. Have you tried LSD? Yeah. Like high on meth? No. Nah, bro. I'm not gonna do anything like that. Cause I know what I know sort of my general plans with drugs. Like there are certain drugs that I would plan if it's part of my exploration, you know? If it's part of my mental health process. You know what I mean? Like I've given up caffeine. That's how much I don't want to get stressed. You should put a little bit of olive oil on that. It's fucked up. New Bong series pitch. Lord tries as many hardcore drugs while trying to finish confinement. Jesus. When did you know about the SCP fandom? It was in high school. A friend just showed me and I thought, damn, this is really good inspiration for drawing scary shit. And I drew some really dark, scary shit in school. I don't know what that was about. Gotta go have fun flying through infinite space. Alright, see you, 44 Maroc. 17 Ape, thanks for the $5. Hey Bung, keep up the good work. We like seeing you draw and do streams. Don't worry about chat. Also, what is your process for sound effects? Literally 90% of it is just me finding it on YouTube. Like I look up like moving a couch sound effect, or glass breaking sound effect, or leaves rustling sound effect, or I even have one that's literally called man sitting down sound effect, which is it always gives me a good chuckle whenever I see that one. Yeah, it really is that simple, but there is this guy who has helped me out with a few sound effects that you might have heard in the boy in the pitch black room episode of Confinement, or the short before episode 7 anyway. He uprooted some vegetables for the potato bit because I couldn't find any online. You know, I probably could have just, well, I mean I could, but most of them had like things going on in the background, like just like it was a bad microphone. Nobody is trying to do it as a sound effect, I guess. At least I couldn't find it. So you know, he did that for me, and he did a few more. Yeah. There are a couple of people who've like approached me and given me some cool original sounds to work with. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's a very original sound. Like Elon Musk on Twitter. He has shit. He has a violin, I think, like he has some kind of stringed instrument, and he made this like really freaky noise with the violin, the kind of noise that they used to make with Godzilla, like to make Godzilla's roar in the original Godzilla. He made something like that, and then I used it for that same video, the boy in the pitch black room, the giant white fire breathing creature. $2 from Chill Block. Yo, where's the Garfield comics? Thank you, Chill Block. Crying cat goes bark. $2.99. Bong, I just woke up and I have a massive hangover. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am sorry to hear that. Hopefully this stream will give you the will to, you know, get up and exercise or something. I don't know. Demonic Archangel. Hey Bong, do you have plans to bring other SCP YouTubers or even creepypasta YouTubers into your videos? I have done that already with like, by getting Gmo Dawn and the Vulcan into videos. I did, and I am still going to have this creepypasta voice guy, Nature's Temper. He's really fucking just gorgeous, like visually and audibly gorgeous. And he reads creepypastas. I was like, oh, this guy's voice. Oh man, you get to hear his voice at the end of episode 7 on the phone. He's the one that's calling Dr. Powers over the answering machine. Fucking answering machine. All right, there we go. Connor was in the Cars universe. What kind of car would he be? Also, would you kill Scrappy Doo? Sorry. This water tastes so good. Guys, water's amazing. This one for the cool video, the cool music I've discovered through confinement. Also, what is the best cheese? Oh man, I'm glad I at least did that for you. Best cheese, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a cheese man. One time, when I was in Melbourne, I went up a tower and me and my friends had like a plate of cheese on a chopping board, and it was supposed to be very refined, and I don't know, I think I had a good time, but I can't remember if any of them taste any fucking different, you know? You know, maybe there is like actual, like really cool, subtle taste, like people have orgasms just thinking about the space between cheese. You know, maybe it is actually like a rich culture that has some really interesting... Holy shit, Celestial. Thanks for the $50. Hey mate, take a few dosh and get yourself something for your fun night. Get yourself some decaf, maybe a pizza or whatever. Also, you SCP-1471 fan? Let me check that shit up real quick. SCP-1471, in case I've just forgotten it. Oh yeah, Mallow. Yeah. I mean, the concept is really scary. It's not really been my favorite SCP though. But yeah. Thank you for the 50 dosh. I think if I did see it in real life, I would, you know, shit myself for real though. If I see this like dog skull over this black matted fur. I mean, I'm kind of scared of dogs to some degree anyway. So maybe a dog skull. They always look so cool. The SCP is cooler than it is scarier to me. So, I don't know, that's some kind of compliment. I just came into this chat. We're talking about orgasms via cheese or something. Yes, we are, Mango Bite. Welcome to this stream. Please give me topics to talk about or something. You do, I mean, do whatever you want, y'all. We're just here right now. That's all that matters. One of the tales from Mallow is really great. The one about the two siblings that discovered it. Maybe I should read some, or maybe I should have a YouTuber read it for me. That would be good. Talk about mangoes. Fucking love mangoes. Trying to think of a mango story. I just can't. I guess I don't love mangoes that much. I'm sorry. Well, I did have a mango story in mind, but it was a bit inappropriate. Well, I'm already high on stream, so basically there's this rumor that mangoes can improve your high. And the only mangoes we could find in our place in Sydney, we were like high in the suburbs, and there were no fresh fruit vendors that we saw, and so we had to get like refrigerated mangoes. I mean, like frozen mangoes that were cut up and diced, and we were looking it up the whole time, just like, wait, hang on a second, does this, it says here that some mangoes are grown in a certain way where it won't make the high good or something like that, and we were just like, no, we're having such a terrible time, all because we didn't know. We learned so much about mangoes just out of context. We were desperately looking up shit about mangoes while high, and we never knew. It might have just been a placebo. $5 from Hollow Jack, thank you. Bono, do you know SCP-777? Also, what is your favorite classic SCP? My favorite classic SCP would be like The Flesh That Hates, or The Room Made Out of Flesh, just because that conceptually is just really fun. But SCP-777, which is this one? There's an area of land, blah blah blah. The Kingdom of Sand. Oh wait, I think I might have read about this. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then that's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun SCP. But yeah, the fleshy room, or The Flesh That Hates, is always a fun one. I liked animating it, I like drawing it, I still like drawing it. I want to sell some of my designs on a t-shirt if I could, of just like fleshy furniture. Not necessarily SCP related, just like, but inspired by the SCP, like the idea. Although the SCP itself was also inspired by artwork and traditional furnitures that pre-existed the SCP. So, you know, it's just, we're all just sharing our knowledge with each other and making art out of it, you know? Your voice sounds like Connor. That's me. That's me, gang. Hey, Connor here. I'm drawing the back of my own head. Whoa, look at that. I'm missing my own head. I'm missing a big chunk of it. It's like somebody shot a laser into my skull. Ugh. Look at that shit. Beautiful. Want to hear a riddle? You have 9 balls that look the same and one is a different weight, and you have to find out which it is with an old scale that you can only use twice. No thinking box. No thinking box. No thinking box. Okay, can I just lift the balls with my hands, I guess? Lord baked, how much weed do you smoke out of your Lord bong? Says crying cat goes box $7.99. Thank you for the $7.99. Not so much now because I'm not trying to. Well, I'm trying to smoke less. I went off it for a while and then I went back on, and now that I'm sick, I've been on it a bit more than I should. I'm trying to be just more like, you know, once a week, twice a week, something like that. What's your favorite dinosaur? Says Demonic Archangel. Give me the $5. I mean, it would probably be one of the ceratopsids. You know, like Triceratops or something like that. Or maybe a Pachycephalosaurus. I mean, Pachyrhinosaurus. What else is there? What else is there? There are a few Hadrosaurs that have really pretty shaped heads. A Hadrosaurus, sorry. They're the ones that hang out by the water and have the duck bills most of the time. But they have these really great kind of crests that make up their head, and a lot of artists design them with a lot of color. And you know, since they evolved into birds, it makes sense to me that dinosaurs would be very colorful, actually, if they were to use it to attract mates, if that's all they're used for, you know. If that's all the color is used for, I mean. Then you'd have these really fucking psychedelic looking dinosaurs. Just, you know, reptile colors. The bright reds and yellows and the pinks and blacks and blues. Ugh. Just be happy, bro. Yeah, bro. I am happy. This sickness kind of makes it hard to be happy, though. I am still sick, and that gives me headaches and fatigue. And it's kind of crazy just how much it makes you feel like you're depressed, even though you might not actually be depressed. Or how much it might just trigger depression because it just mirrors the symptoms so much. Where I'm just tired, and I'm good. I'm good, but I'm tired, and I want to do things, but I'm tired, and I have a headache, and then I'm still meditating. I'm still being thankful for everything, though. You know, every time I go for a walk, I look at all of these. I look at everything really, and I just try and say something along the lines of "I love you." You know, it's really dumb when I say it out loud, but the fact that I can do that makes me feel like I'm at least trying to outbalance the negative side of just having a terrible headache for most of the day while I have this sickness, you know? What are you using to animate? Well, I draw in GIMP, which is what I'm doing right now, and I animate in Sony Vegas Pro 13, and I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. This is just my quirky way of doing it that I ended up sort of stuck to. Not stuck, but I mean it's what I'm used to, and I kind of like it, and doing it in another program I'm not sure will actually make the way that I do it now with this program, the method that I've sort of developed, any faster, because I would still want to do it in this method because it's the one that I'm used to. If I were to learn a completely different program, I would probably do that for a completely different show. You know, I've already made so many changes in this one, but they've always been within the limitations of the style that I've sort of created from the beginning. So whenever confinement is done, hopefully I'll just get on that. Get on that, make a new show, make some new shit. Oh no, it's empty. Does the salami lid fit? Also, have you ever played the CP fan games like Secret Lab? Yeah, bro. It was pretty good. I had fun. I'm gonna refill my bottle, so I'll be right back. So I'll be back. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Just refilling my bottle. Okay. Perfect. Excuse me. Thanks for the $2, Holla Jack. Yeah. How's chat tonight? How is chat tonight? Let's get that question rolling to chat. Y'all tell me how you're doing tonight, so I can read out your live stories on my infinite journey into space. These stories will keep me comfort as I finally die in the engulfing abyss. Really appreciate what you do, and I hope you get well soon. Thank you, Logic Crash. Appreciate that. Good, alive. Pog. Chat is pretty pog. Bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Genghis Chan. Genghis Chan. Hello, Bung. You've just been spooked. Oh, no. Hey, yo. Just joined. Remember me, Bung? This Time Hub. Yeah, I vaguely do remember you. Hello, Jack. $2. Damn it, I tried to do that while you was filling up. Oh, too bad. Hello, Science Man. Who are you? Hey, Vonnie. I might have zooted a little bit before stream, but that's what it takes sometimes. Poggers, dude. I drew kinda high in space. Oh, hell yeah. Send that shit to me on Twitter or something. What was I up to? I was up to here. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, what? Oh, whoops. Oh shit, I'm too high for this. Okay. Got this. Nailed it. Is there a way that you can increase the character limit for non-donation messages, as 200 is not enough for riddles? Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry. Um. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how to do that. There is no cog button. I'll think about it. But you know, I think if you can't lower it down to, I mean, the riddles, yeah, they're not necessary. I'm probably not going to read them. I'm sorry. Um. But you can always shorten the message down if you think it's that good. Please do not increase the limit. Okay. Alright, my mod has spoken. Listen to him. Hey, Lord Bung, you know that series you did with a bunch of people from history fighting crimes? What happened to that? I didn't do that. I didn't do that series. People keep mistaking me for that. No, I did not. I did not at all do that. I definitely advertised the hell out of it on my Twitter. Because I was such a huge fan. And I still am such a huge fan. And my hope is that they're still going. They're just a little busy right now, or they're a little backlogged, or maybe, I don't know. Hope nothing bad happened. Thanks for the $5, Holla Jack. Hypothetically speaking, if Connor was to ride a big sandworm, would he ride the body, or would he be by the head? Also, if I drew this, if I drew this, where do I send it? Oh shit. Twitter, yeah, Twitter. At me on Twitter. Definitely. And I hope I'll see it. God, I hope I see it. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You're never gonna stop being asked about Super Science friends. Yeah. Would you ever try traditional animation, not to discredit your animation style? I'm not sure how to scan it is all. I don't know how traditional animators did it. I know they drew it on paper, but then they scanned it onto something so that it can be traditional animation. Yeah. Oh, unless you're talking about like every single frame is drawn animation, like in like digitally, but still where the method itself is the traditional part. Yeah, I'm sort of moving more and more towards that, because like in the anomalies video with the salesman, you'd end up seeing a lot more of that in there. There are a bunch of bits where I've just drawn every single scene, every single frame of that like few second bit. I'm trying to warm myself up into it. That's part of the reason why I made that video. But also it's part of the story. How's a new episode coming? It's going alright. It's going a bit slowly because I'm sick, but it's still going. You know, I still get a few hours in. A couple of hours in a day at this point. May I please ask for permission for me to devote my entire life to you? There'll be so many things you're gonna have to do. Do you have the SCPs memorized, or do you have to Google them and go into a riot of search before animating and making the story? I have like the ideas. Some of the SCPs that stand out to me the most, I have memorized, not word by word, but like I have memorized as just an idea. Just like, yes, I'm gonna make an episode around this, and I'd fall in love with that idea, and that's why I would memorize it. So I'm gonna see how I could use it in confinement. But then I do have to look them up again, just because I want to see if there's anything that I can choose which parts I want to keep accurate and choose which parts I want to change. And by that I have to go through it and make it clear that like, okay, this is a change, or this is a reference. Have you thought of frame interpolation? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm supposed to be an animator, but you know, I have no idea. I'm sorry. Technically speaking, since Connor can age, he can die of age, or he will just forever die and regenerate, then die, then regenerate, etc. Will he be reborn in a way? Can't say. I can't say that. Not because I don't know, but because it would probably spoil it in some way. Or the nature of it. The nature of his anomaly will kind of be spoiled there. Alright, so he looks fine on that angle, and it's just like, whoa. There we go. Single eyebrow. You're doing this so it's easier for you, right? Doing what? I mean, ideally everything that I'm doing with the animation is to keep it at a certain level of efficiency while also being within my ability to regularly create something. Thanks for the $2. Frosted Scales. For 20th episode with Connor and Nat talk about mangoes. Is it okay for us to cosplay as characters from Fireman? Absolutely. Just, you know, at me on Twitter and show me, because I'd love to see them. There we go. This is Rick Sanchez just trying to... Right, look at Rick Sanchez. Now, Rinky, you shut, because you know it's the truth, and I'm not hating here. I'm stating the facts, so excuse me. Oh, shit. I remember when I was waiting for one episode. Month goes by, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, over a year. Yeah, right. Fucking little angry Rick Sanchez. That's the funniest shit. I get your point though. You're mad. I have been taking a while, but I've explained. Maybe I haven't explained enough, but I have explained quite a lot that, well, for a huge period of time in Sydney, things went really rough for me. And I was in a very bad place mentally, and I was not able to really work at the level that I wish I could. But fairly recently, you know, since these streams have started coming back on again, not because of the streams, but because of things that happened in my life that are a bit personal, they've been put back on track, and I'm working on it again. So yeah, this has taken a while, but that's okay, because I haven't quit. And my patrons know that, and I've been keeping them sort of in the know about where I was mentally. And so I'm not like cheating anyone. There's communication, is transparent. And at the end of the day, this is free content for you. So go ahead. You can leave if you want. Don't really care. But you telling me to hurry up isn't actually going to make me hurry up. I'm doing it at my own speed. I'm doing it at the speed that I can right now while I'm sick, while I'm still not at my peak, still not at my goal weight, you know? I have a life outside of this, and so do all of you. The Rick Sanchez profile left. What will we ever do? No, he was the smartest man in the universe. Don't make him mad. He's gonna wubble up a dub me. He's gonna turn me into a pickle. It'll be so fucking funny. Please draw Tiny Heart, Spectromaton. Thanks for the $2, and I'll draw Tiny Heart. There we go. Perfect. Oh, this position isn't good for my back, actually. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Do you have the coronavirus also? Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine if I had the coronavirus? Like, just as I started getting healthy again and got back on my work, and then, boom, coronavirus. You know? Fuck. That would be wild. But that'll all be part of the journey, wouldn't it? Your health matters to us. I know you're working very hard. You can take your time as long as you're healthy and taking breaks every once in a while. You'll finish it eventually, and we support. Thank you, Alyssa Costello. I love you, Bong, and you need breaks. We'll be waiting for the next episode no matter how long it takes. That rhymes, whoa. And we know life can be hard sometimes, but just now, we will be here for you. Thank you. Yeah, what matters is now. You're damn right, Diego. Oh, my back, though. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Do you like gorillas? Yeah, I like the music videos. I mean, I guess I like the music too, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of the gorilla songs that I've listened to, and there's only like a couple, and they're the ones that everybody knows, so do I really like the gorillas? How'd you get into space? I don't know. He doesn't pronounce the letter R that much. No, because I'm not American. I play an American in confinement, but I play a few Americans actually in confinement, but I am from Australia, so I don't pronounce the R that way. Alle gut bong. How is your butt? My butt is okay. Remember when I made you do Ricardo? Well, I lived up to the end of my bargain. Where can I send the video link? Oh shit. Twitter or if you're in my Discord, you can at me. I'll give you permission to ping me. Or on Twitter, you can do that there as well. Australia? Yeah, I'm Australian. You guys have a good stream. I stayed up all night and need to sleep. Have a good one. All right. Good night, Michael Haugen. Thank you for joining. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's kind of difficult to pay attention to everything while also paying attention to my back, so I think maybe I'll, oh, 1 second. Let me just see how far I am into the stream. About 45 minutes, okay. How long did it take you for you to develop your particular art style? There isn't, if you have a particularly keen eye, you might notice that the styles have kind of changed every episode, just a little bit. Like there's no consistent style, but they're similar enough where it looks like there's a style. That's kind of what I'm working with. A traditional show would be very strict about keeping the style consistent, which is fair when you're working with a bunch of people, even though in the end it doesn't always look like it's done by the same person. That's sort of what I'm dealing with as well, and that goes the same with my co-animator. Like his animation, it looks different from mine. Yeah, and it just kind of works like that. Severe bra momentitis. Are you making the new episode? Yes, I am. There are a lot of layers to it to work to. And sometimes I forget that and I think like, okay, no, I have to be writing right now. That's the most important thing. But every single part of it is the most important thing. It's all equally important. It all gets put together into the episode in the end, and I'm gonna have to do it at some point anyway. Like, I'm gonna have to draw this Connor with a hole in his chest and a hole in his head at some point anyway. There are gonna be a lot of more simple Connors that don't have to have the big 3D revolve-y head. But it's good to have a few of them, to have like an entire all dimensions, you know, so I could use them in as many contexts as I need them to. If I have a crowd that's looking in one direction, or I need a background character just to fill in a scene, to bring life to a location. Can I send the video link here? I don't think you can. I'm not sure you can actually send links in this chat. I think I disabled that. It's kind of like the avatar. It's really funny that you say that, actually. I can't tell you why. Hey Spaceman, what program are you using? I'm using GIMP. GIMP 2 point something, I don't know. Let me check. Yeah, GIMP 2.8. That's the one. Big chest hole. So what are you doing the eyes for? Your work is great. I rewatched it a couple of times. It helped pass a lot of time while being stuck at home. Yes. The pain, the suffering of that. I truly do understand my son or daughter or non-binary royalty. It's all good. It's all good. What matters is that we are here now, and every moment is what matters. And also that we're here now. Yeah. Big hole in chest, Connor. Good. Good. Yeah, I made this neck lean to the right for some reason. Doesn't need to do that. There we go. Holy shit, this is the fucking best comment ever. I love the confinement. I love the confinement conspiracy theories, but this one, Lord Bung, is Connor's girlfriend / psychiatrist an anomaly? I've noticed the "be yourself" poster. That's your clue. That's that's so good. Oh my god. Holy shit. Like, she's a bee. Like Natalie just turns into a bee. I'm gonna fucking draw that. Come on, Connor. Just be yourself. Da-da-da. Oh my god. She's the Nata bee. Oh no. Here she goes. This is horrifying. This is a W. What's be yourself supposed to mean? It's just one of those, because she's a psychiatrist. She's a therapist, so she has a bunch of motivational posters. It's just a stereotype that therapists have a bunch of like positive motivational posters all over their offices and shit. It's an inside joke for people who have to go to therapy, you know. Send that to me. I'll send you the B. I'll send you the B. Oh, wait. It's gonna be an outline. There you go, Matt. Oh, Dan, thanks for the $10. So can there be reanimated Connor corpses alongside the most recently animated Connor? I asked because of the mushroom people. You are gonna have to see. But yeah, I mean the trailer kind of basically already. You're on the right track. What your assumption is whatever your assumption is correct. Yes. I don't know. I feel like the trailer kind of spoils it, but I don't want to say it out loud in case it's not obvious to everyone. Can Connor end world hunger via cannibalism? Probably start like an intense series of viruses. You know, like the reason we're more likely to get a sickness off of eating a mammal than like a fish, for example, is that mammals are much more similar to us, you know, like cows and pigs and shit. So the viruses that inhabit their organics are more likely to inhabit ours and therefore are dangerous to us. Whereas if we were to eat fish, you know, that's less likely to happen. Whoa. My phone was going off. Okay. It's a late alarm. Oops. What was Connor's first ever death? Well, in episode 4 you get to find that out. Maybe keep an ear out when you watch that episode, but if you don't want to. Connor's first ever death, probably first ever recorded death on the show probably would be him dying in that car as a baby. Because the Foundation just found a baby, like a car full of all these cooked dead babies because, you know, somebody left a baby in a car and it just kept regenerating and dying again. So yeah, that's a very morbid thing that I've made Connor's thing. I mean, it is meant to kind of sound a bit comedic, but it is also tragic. And especially in the scene that he's telling it. At least I like to hope that it kind of came off a bit more tragic than, or at least sort of sincere and touching with the way that I read it. The way that I read Connor. How old was Connor when they started testing him? I guess they just did it right away. Like to varying degrees, I suppose. Like, you know, like as he got older, he'd probably do the more difficult ones and the more scary ones, but I don't see why they would just house him and not do anything while he was a kid, you know? Fuck. Come on, Genghis Khan. If Connor were to be pregnant, if he died, would the baby live? I don't know. That's why I made Connor a dude. Oh. Well, a dude who can't get pregnant, at least. If GIF in the chat for Baby Connor. That's true. Where does the mass for every new body of Connor come from? In my head, it just converts the atoms that are already there into the relevant atoms. Did you read my past comment? Can I send the link here? I don't have a Twitter. Well, I don't know if you can send links here. You can try, but it might be like, sorry, you can't send the link. But go ahead. It's not an invitation for everyone else, though, although I acknowledge me saying that isn't helping my case. But I feel like if you can send links already, people would have been sending links already. Thank you for the $5, Dan. Appreciate the heck out of it, man. I'm just trying to read chat, but I've already answered a lot of these questions. I don't feel like re-answering them. If Connor dies, does sperm die respawn with him, or does it get rebuilt? What? Dawn of the Shade, you're fucking crazy. Thanks for joining stream, dude. If Connor dies, does his sperm die, respawn with him, or does it get rebuilt? Oh, man. Oh, man. I sent the link, it's in my past comment. Alright. I can't see the link, sorry. Yeah, I don't think it actually sends links. When will you break down on stream after answering the 917th question on episode 8 is? I mean, those questions aren't actually the ones that you're getting asked. I mean, aside from when is it? Yeah. What's the end of having a breakdown? No, I choose not to read most of it because I know I've answered it too many times. You know, it just wouldn't be good for anybody. Are you born with sperm already produced? Not the question I thought I'd be asking myself today. Are you born with sperm already produced? I don't know. What are the ingredients for sperm anyway? What a question. Anybody have the ingredients for sperm on a cooking, like a cooking, fucking cooking website? How you doing today / tonight? Pretty good. I've been kind of sick all day though, so that's a W, but oh well, that's how it be. Sometimes we're sick, sometimes we're on stream in a spaceship, and sometimes we're both. Whoa. Sperm pancakes. Thank you, Peter Rodriguez, for that sperm pancakes addition to my stream. Thanks for the £5, Mr. Flange. I would love to 049's reaction to how Connor is unable to be cured. Ha. We'll see about that. You were born with sperm cells, they are just not matured. Oh, fair enough. Kind of kill somebody by respawning. Hell yeah, you can. Thanks for the $5, Dan. And you know he can. Can use that shit to his advantage sometimes. That part's not super important anyway, it always gets covered with an arm. So no need to stress about that bit. Has Connor ever had an avocado? Nah, I don't think so. I don't know. Do they serve avocados in prison? I feel like they won't. I don't know what makes me think that, but I feel like avocados just aren't in prison. But I feel like, you know, just any kind of fruit, it just isn't in prison. Yeah, place up your donations outside stream. Yeah, I have a PayPal and a Patreon, so, but you could find those at the descriptions of some of my videos. All right, gonna have to ask people. I'm gonna just to sort of answer a very common question I'm seeing right now is. Can Connor die of old age? What happens after he dies of old age? Can he keep going until whatever? I can't answer any of those questions because it'll spoil too much stuff. Because his anomaly is part of the story. So, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people really asking that question a lot. Thank you, Extra Crispy, for the $5. Extra Crispy. Extra crispy. Drop by to say hi, but I got school, so see ya. Goodbye, comic. Hope you have a good school day and learn a lot of things. Hopefully not one of those things that are like too life-changing, but it requires trauma. Maybe something cool, just like the capital of a country. Do you make comics? I've tried so many times in the past. For some reason, they're really hard to do. Like, to make like a story and use use the structure of a comic to tell a story, but now I don't really have. I can't even get to doing my my D&D sheet right now. And I've been missing out on this campaign for a while. And it makes me think like, okay, well if I'm not motivated at the moment to do something like that, I probably am not gonna finish any of the comic ideas that I have. But I know that's just because I'm sick right now, and I'm sure it'll get better when I'm better. Just doing little things to not die of boredom out here, you know. But I can't ignore the fact that I am just tired all the time, and I get headaches way more than I like, and it just makes me want to stay in bed. Sometimes you just gotta stay in bed a little bit if there's nothing you need to do. I still prioritize work. I still get work done every day. Try to just get a little bit of work done. Try to do a little bit of reading. Try to do a little bit of exercise. And try not to get tempted into eating too much bad food. But the temptation is strong there now. 'Cause I feel like shit physically. I mean, emotionally I feel quite light and just vibing out. Like I know to ride the wave even if it is a terrible sickness. Bung is Corn Man edible. Yes, he is. I dare you to just try and eat him. Please, get him out of here. Don't give him his jacket. Just eat him. Just eat him whole. Heck yeah, trans rights. Damn right. M the bug. Hey Bung, does the tooth fairy exist inside confinement? Yeah, sure. I'm sure there is like I'm pretty sure there is an SCP that is like a version of the tooth fairy where it's really morbid. I can't remember. Is Connor a Redditor? No! Connor is not a Redditor. Are you drawing all this with a mouse? No, I'm using a drawing tablet right now. I used to draw with a mouse. That took a while. Give me your shredded calcium. No. That's disgusting, Mr. Cyclone. We should, like, dedicate an episode to that Corn Man himself. I actually have an idea for one. Oh no, it became a 3-parter. But I need to finish this confinement first. Would you delve deeper into types of immortality? That's what I meant. I like the concept, thought-provoking. Yeah, Connor has a type of immortality that people seem to be getting wrong quite often in their theories, you know, with their questions. So that's why I keep refusing to answer a lot of the questions, because it gives you an idea of just what it is that he has, and that's part of the story. And I feel like some people would appreciate it if I didn't spoil it. There we go. Dead now. What time is it for you? Is it not late in Aussie hours? It is 9:06 p.m. for me. Welcome to stream, Alicia. $5 from Lauk. I'm working on an SCP game. It has permadeath, but I wanted to make an easy mode so I can. So made an OC who has powers like Connor. Her name's Gray. Hell yeah. That's just respawning, isn't it? Or do you respawn when we're like close to where you stood previously? But hell yeah. Sounds cool. Can't wait to catch it on the gaming circles. Alright, chest hole Connor. Sketches gone. Outline for chest hole Connor complete. Next outline for pirate Connor. There we go. How did Connor turn into a log that one time? Asks Mario the dog. Well, the idea is that whatever the mystic metaphysical thing that was turning his physical body into flora was sort of alchemically mixing with whatever metaphysical thing is keeping him from dying. So it's almost like he regenerated, but there were spores in there, and he turned into a log. It was kind of just like a fucking weird mutation of metaphysical events. I don't know, I thought it was funny. And I want to log Connor. Wait, what am I doing? Okay. There we go. There's a hole in the chest because that's what we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning. My theory. Why does Connor Perfect Soul make me want to commit felonies? I'm sorry, I think your urge to commit felonies is probably unconnected. I would like to think so. What's Corn Man's gender? Corn gender. Next question. Ow. My ass. I'm mediocre. Hi, it's Rose Bailey. Fave again. Can you draw Big Chungus quickly for my friend on stream? 2019 Big Chungus, 2020 Big Chungus. Ooh, love you lots. Fucking hate. I hate you, Rose. Okay. Things I do for my friends. Only because you've helped me out quite a lot. Fuck. Oh no, what am I doing with my life? Oh no. I know it looks literally nothing like Big Chungus. Oh, that was embarrassing to do. I can't believe I did it, oh my god. Totoro vibes. That's what the Totoro creature looked like. It wouldn't have been a well-received film Will we ever see more of Natalie's past? We'll see. It's a log, a log, a log. You're writing a poem about my log? Like a children's TV show opening? Tell us about the dog on the wall, said Frosted Scales. Thanks for the $2. Well, her name is Ruby, and she's inspired by this SCP that's essentially just like a really, really, really long dog. I think it's a corgi, and it just stretches around the globe. But it's normal size in every other way. It's just really long, like its torso is really long. But I didn't want to steal that idea. So what I did was, you know, there are a lot of like not drawings, photos of particularly Shiba Inus, but a lot of dogs that are sticking their head out of a brick wall, and it looks like their head is just in a wall. That's kind of the idea that I had. Like, yeah, this seems cute. It'll just be halfway through the wall, and it would look like it's obviously an anomalous thing, because their front legs are out, like their entire half torso is out, and it's just clean cut wall. SCP file. Look at that dog. That dog. Look at that dog. Is that a bear that's been taped to his face? Yes, it is. Ruby wins the Monopoly game. Yes, she does. She always does. Connor is something of a privateer if you think about it. It's true. How deadly is Australia? I think the sun is probably more deadly than any of the animals here. I mean, in context, just because we don't run into a lot of the dangerous animals here. It'll be like assuming every single American has been in danger of being attacked by a grizzly bear just because grizzly bears live in America, you know. And grizzly bears are deadly. They can be. But it is Fat Bear Month, so keep that in mind. If you see a fat bear, take a photo maybe. And run away, but maybe run away slowly so you could see it waddle behind you. Seriously, don't fuck with bears. If somebody dies because of me, well, no. Not again. Australia, even bushes are deadly. Send you into self-destruct. Danger country. It is pretty wild. But I live indoors. I am safe from all of the spooky little bugs that'll come in and eat me. And poison me and then eat the poison. Isn't it kind of fucked up that flies spit acid onto their food before they eat them? I kind of want to see a timeline where humans did that. Where we had to blend everything with our mouths. Oh wait, no, actually we do that already. I have been attacked by a grizzly. I am Canadian though, so I hid under a truck rather than attempt to pet the fluffy teddy. That's a good action that you did. Think about it. If you didn't survive that bear attack, you wouldn't have been telling me that on stream right now and just imagining you hiding under a truck like that scene in Jurassic World. Fuck, man. I've been watching Lord Bung ever since he was still a martyr. Oh shit. I was a martyr. Would Connor subscribe to you? Nah. I don't think he would. I think YouTube is probably blacklisted on the SCP facility. There's so many people having a good time on YouTube. It'll inspire too many people to leave, you know? They might see that Adam ruins everything on private prisons. Be like, yeah, this is fucked up. Of course, everyone wants to leave anyway. I feel like countries with bears don't care. Like as kids, we were sent camping despite multiple bear sightings in the area. Oh shit. Crazy out there. Sleeping out with the bears. That's cute, that's cute. You add the two cryptozoologists from Bung Chronicles episode, like just outside somewhere looking for anomalies, and they see three run by, and they say, no way, no way, no way. Okay, well, I can't have that last bit. But, yeah. I have been planning on having them come back in some way. I've had a few scrapped ideas already, but I don't know, who knows. Good night, Frosted Scales. Just started my college break. Stream's been fun to listen to while working. Hell yeah. You go and break. You go and have your break then. My good son, Dawn. Oh man. My back isn't having the best time right now. Switch to contacts. Oh no, these glasses are specifically for avoiding just the general blue light from the computer screen. So that ain't good for you. It keeps me up as well. Makes the eyes hurty. Oh, wait a second. It's gonna be a good stream. I'm just gonna be checking my fucking messages. Octo Beetle Studio, thank you for the $2. This bung stream for me. Hello, Svarta Carter. I am just drawing right now, and I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit sleepy, I'm a bit sick, but I am surviving. Some days it's all we can do. Do you want to hear a ghost story? Yeah, go ahead. Tell me like a short ghost story. It's not gonna fit all on the chat though, unfortunately. Silence fills the stream. No, there's music. You can hear music, right? I'll turn the music up loud. I have half an hour left to stream. Sent the link to you in the Discord server. I tagged you. Okay. Let's take a look, see. Here it is, the Ricardo meme. Can you do the Ricardo movement? Just look back and look front like Ricardo. I can't remember how that meme went actually. It's just like I don't know. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna edit it or something. No, it's just me doing the impression. Seems a bit skewed. It's more straight. In the trailer, it was said they stopped using death row inmates altogether. Is this true or made up by the government? Why? It's not made up by the government. It's a decision by the facility, which isn't owned by the government. And no, it wasn't a lie. It was part of the story. And look, I'm literally working on my project Confinement, and then somebody in chat says, "Quit wasting time and work on your projects." I'm literally doing it in front of. I knew this was gonna happen though. That's why I just thought it'd be funny to point out. Is Annie actually dead? The woman that got harassed by the salesman? Yeah, she's dead. Rest in peace. She put up a good fight. She did not die like most old ladies. What is your opinion on the accuracy of tarot card readings? What I like about tarot card readings is that there isn't really technically anything that you don't already know going on. You just end up seeing what you want to see because they are kind of broad in that horoscope-y kind of way, or in that Myers-Briggs personality test kind of way. Because the reality of it is that, you know, they're based on the kind of person you are. You'd have these different ideas of how segmented everybody is into these categories. The reality of it is that we're all so radically different that the categories are very, very, very specific for certain purposes, you know, whether it be for political reasons or for spiritual reasons. But no, people are way more complicated than that. So tarot cards, if you're using them correctly, then you'll end up, it's basically it's almost like a Rorschach test, you know. You end up seeing what you want to see, and it's like, oh, that's what's been going on in my mind lately. And once it has your attention, and once you're in that moment of feeling quite important and quite significant, that you get to make decisions for yourself. Because, you know, people say they make decisions all the time, but if you really aren't thinking about it, then you end up just repeating the same cycles that you've been stuck in. Do you think that when we die, we just respawn to the moment we were born? Basically, do you think eternal recurrence is a thing? Says Dan with $5. I don't see how that's any different from reincarnating as somebody else without having the memory, you know? Because both of these scenarios, you just disappear. Because you know you disappear at the end of your timeline. In either scenario, you know? So yeah, that's my idea is essentially that at the end of our timeline we also just disappear. But everything that makes us us continues to exist in the world. It just gets recycled into something else. And in that way, I could be like, yeah, so that butterfly that was just born at the moment of my death, that is me now. I just don't have my memory from when I was Danny, from when I was Lord Bung. And then that butterfly will go on, and it might as well be me, you know, if it doesn't have a memory of a past life. And I think that little fact is quite interesting, you know. It's the same as the general sort of Zen Buddhist idea of reincarnation. I might be misrepresenting Zen Buddhism, but some of the more practical, kind of pragmatic versions of spirituality, those are the ones that I seem to be at the moment. Do you still talk to the pubcast? Thanks for the $2, Manix. Not so much nowadays. We're all in different places now, and things are different. We are the universe's dream. Exactly. We are all in the dream of a slumbering god. And at the end of our timeline, if we are calm enough, if we are able to take control of our emotions and harmonize with the universe and realize that, you know, when to let go and when to take control, all that jazz. That's when you're living. That's when the dream gets more interesting for whatever this giant has to deal with. We are all corn, and when we die, we become popcorn. It's true. It's very true. In the end of time, what would you think it would look like? Just an empty white space or something else far beyond our comprehension? I think it's not beyond our comprehension, but I think for a lot of people it is something out of their general consideration of reality. I think it's a place that is so hard to pay attention to, but we can all achieve it. It's what some people call isness, the essence of just being, just existing, just being aware in the moment, you know? It's not just like being aware, like, you know, just like really paying attention to what your friends are talking about. It's having absolutely nothing else on your mind and just being in this exact moment and enjoying every single second of it, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. Basically that's what I think death is. It's probably the closest thing to death. Kind of like there's like a space when you orgasm, where you kind of black out a little bit, you know, if it's a good one. And that is also that same space, in my opinion. It's a little death. It's a little bit of death. You sort of, you focus all of your energy into one singular part of your body, or one erogenous zone in your body, and then you relinquish. Suddenly that singular energy that everything was focused on, your memories, your thoughts, your attention, your physical muscular energy, your nerve energy, everything is focused in one area, and suddenly it is relinquished in just like a few seconds of just relinquishing. And there's that space, you know, that space, that nothingness, that isness, that existing, that stillness, that is death. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. That's why I use the orgasm example. It's a thing that we shouldn't be afraid of. I think after death there is no afterlife, no heaven or hell, just existence in some material plane, able to see our world but not interact. The only thing more terrifying than torture is just silence. It can be terrifying. Because you'd be too busy thinking about what's going to happen next, or what happened to my old life. You'd be thinking about the past and the future. That's why I'm trying to just learn to be okay with myself and my existence and my awareness, you know? So that if I do lose my body in some terrible accident and I'm having some kind of, quote, out-of-body experience, I'm not going to freak out like I did last time. Did you hear about the giant that threw up? It's all over town. Oh, Jordan Hammond. It's a good one. You compare death like busting a nut. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I don't do it. Some people do call nutting the little death. Yeah, exactly. That's la petite mort. Sorry for butchering that, but in French, that's what it is. They call it the little death. Sheesh, all that talk about that is unnerving. It shouldn't have to be, though. It's, you know, all of the empty gaps between things, all of the space between everything, it needs to exist for us to exist. And that includes the moments of death that are nutting, that are having a really good sneeze, that are meditating really hard. Well, not really hard, but, you know, meditating quite well. Or doing a psychedelic. These moments sort of help you realize that we all actually are connected. That no matter where you try to draw the line between yourself and somebody else, or yourself and that object next to you, or yourself and the oxygen around you that you're using, it's just kind of arbitrary and for a specific purpose, you know, like so the government or whatever, or your boss or any system can assign blame to you or assign praise to you. These are all just arbitrary lines. But, you know, if you want to think about it, the line between me and the rest of my room is arbitrary. I'm using my room. I would not be me right now without my room. I would not be doing this right now without my room. I would not be breathing without the oxygen around me. I would not be alive, you know. I would not be alive if planet Earth wasn't around. You know, unless oh, wait, I'm in a spaceship. Oh, wait, hold on, I broke the immersion. As a young child, I have way too many existential crisis moments at this point. I don't think about it, I just vibe. Hell yeah. I mean, I still think about it, but not in a stressful way anymore. In a way that's more like I'm fully accepting of just all of it. Although I do admit that I am having trouble accepting that I'm sick right now. Like, I still rest, but then sometimes I worry that if I rest for too long, then I wouldn't want to work, and then you know, I have to have this song and dance every day. It's like, get up, you have to get up now, or get up at this time, and you know, it gets me on track, and I'm still doing work at around all different times of the day now, actually. Did you get a professional education for it and animation? When did you start doing animation? I always just drew a lot as a kid. But I did go to university for some design courses, and that was very helpful. Although I don't think I was very serious about the course, because I didn't continue, and I don't even remember how well I did. But my teacher was really cool. Although I can't remember his name now. Oh, shit. Existential crises can be weirdly positive sometimes. Also feel better, my voice actor. I also feel better. My voice actor and VFX editor just got the flu. Oh no. Oh shit, Thomas. Sorry to hear that, dude. I hope they get the flu. We are the coagulated energy of stars. Yes, we are. We are the universe. And sometimes I really try to remind myself that, like, you know, because it's easy to just read a post that says we are the universe, because you just think about stars and shit. And you're like, oh yeah, they're pretty, I guess, but I don't really see how that's relevant. Well, just think of literally every great thing in your life. You are that as well. And equally, you are also the bad things, but that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that the lines are arbitrary and we kind of have to accept these things. But we don't have to. I mean, you don't have to accept it if you don't want to. But that's kind of what I've been telling myself, because that's what I believe, and that's kind of how I see the world. I used to take on way too much artwork in one go, and sometimes non-artists really think you're just an art machine. I'm finally learning to pace myself to avoid burnout. Ah, bro. Yeah. It's not just like an artist thing. People just, it's a social media thing as well. Like, people just assume that, you know, those 3 tweets that you made in this week, for example, are the entirety of what you've been doing in that week. Or, you know, whatever you've produced. Whatever artwork you produced is like, oh, that's all you've been doing, you know? Or that we somehow try to make up, like, this whole thing, like, oh, they posted 3 times this week artwork. That means they are good and happy and healthy. I know exactly how their entire life is going. Oh no, they posted 1 less piece of artwork. Man, they've really been slacking. And, you know, it's these weird assumptions, but you can't get caught up in other people's assumptions. Especially when you're, well, especially when you're me, for example. I just get completely absorbed in them. I used to get really absorbed in other people's assumptions. It was just such a huge waste of time. But that was just where my journey was at that time. We are the universe experience itself. Fucking amen. Abby, I think that's Alan Watts quote there that you're spitting. What's Connor's religion? And if so, what is Corn Man's religion? Connor doesn't have a religion. I think he's just, unfortunately, he's just like a little depressed nihilist kid. He seems to get obsessed with pleasure, so you could say he's a kind of a nihilistic hedonist of some kind. I know that's actually not that, that's not too defined. I know a lot of people who are just nihilistic hedonists, but he's not a positive nihilist, if that's what if you're asking. And Corn Man would have to be the Corn religion. There's actually, if you look up the SCP file on the Corn Man, you could see all that detail. Ugh. I think we're all small parts of an inconceivable entity, just thoughts living inside its head. Again, it's more terrifying to be P. It cut you off, but it just says P. We are the thinking and feeling parts of the universe. Yeah, basically. Microbes in soil are difficult to study independently because they are so dependent on each other to live. It's all a very arbitrary division, like you said. Yeah, I mean, the categories exist for specific purposes so that we can, you know, make shit. And so that we can teach people, and hopefully that they'll catch on and be like, wow, I really like learning about, I don't know, how cars work, and then they grow up to become part of this job where they make cars. And that's literally the only reason we categorize things, so we can categorize people and set them off into their jobs. And that's fine. I'm not trying to villainize and make it seem like we're all part of this like soulless machine. That's why I think we need to talk about it, is because a lot of people end up falling into the trap of thinking that we're all in this nihilistic machine that has no harmony in it or anything to look up to make us feel like we're safe. I think the fact that the universe is so chaotic and is always in constant flux and destroying each other and redefining boundaries and recategorizing everything is why we shouldn't take the categories so seriously. These categories that we make up for ourselves, the categories that we've been taught to make up for ourselves, the categories that have been placed upon us, these things we don't need to take that seriously, because then you get people who are completely obsessed with things that just don't matter, and you've seen them. You've seen people like lose their voice screaming over some Star Wars thing, you know, like some fan theory Star Wars shit, and getting into physical fights on the streets because of a football game, because they've taken something so serious. They've taken a certain set of rules so seriously, and that's because we're taught to take rules seriously. It doesn't matter. You could say like, oh well, they're just dumb. They're special cases. They're not special cases. You know, you have people who are making political decisions and taking every single rule so seriously as if everything was sacred, and then deciding to not take certain things seriously if it doesn't aid them, and it's like, how do you not see this? And then, but it, you know, at the same time, don't fall into the trap of nothing matters, therefore that nothing matters. No, there's no inherent quality in any of the singular objects that exist around us. We put the quality into it by interacting with it. The beautiful dance between me and you when we talk to each other, that's where the quality is, because it's happening. The fact that it's happening, you know. Don't try to create rules in your head. Oh, why is life worth living? Because this. No, just be. Just be in this place. Cliche quote, but we are made of stardust. It's still cool to consider. Also, fun fact, there are fungal networks that communicate almost like a web of neurons. Yeah, that's fucking incredible. Like, the universe is constantly trying to prove to us that we are essentially the same as it. That we are all the same thing. And that you and I, you know, me and everybody on the stream is all part of the same entity. We are just hyper compressed into these flesh tubes, and we are talking to each other and experiencing this moment, and it's this moment that we're trying to experience. And so much of us start taking moments so seriously that we shut down when moments that are unlike it happen, and then we miss an entire day of moments just because we were so attached to a previous moment, like you know, like being around a certain person or doing a certain thing. I felt that, bro. I did tarot reading for you. The card said you're a hermit on the moon who likes cups. Thank you. Thank you, Spectrometon. I actually had my tarots read pretty recently. That was just, it was for fun. If you know how to read them, then yeah. Flesh tubes. Existence is to converge? No, existence is to exist. That's the only rule. existence is to exist. And I mean, I like to live by certain spiritual rules that are pretty loose, just because that's kind of the person I am. I don't expect other people to follow, but you know, that's just how it be. Some people want to live a life of strict rules, and a lot of people are living lives that aren't even theirs, and that includes myself. And you know, because like I sometimes have these habits that I wish I didn't have, that were part of an older life that I wish weren't here, but I accept that they're here. I still have some bad habits. Sometimes I still comfort eat. Sometimes I still smoke weed when I don't want to. It just happens. Yo, bong, pee pee poo poo check. Checking. We're clear. Damn, I feel like it's fate I clicked on this. Oh shit. Tell me about it. You have to understand that you can't force thinking, you can only explain with facts and reasoning. You could explain with a lot more than that. Like I explain with my artwork. I think if you limit explanations to facts and reason, you invalidate all of the more subtle ways of explaining things, because you know you have, like, for example, generally speaking, more feminine people, or just women generally speaking, have more of an intuitive, emotional way of communicating ideas with each other, which doesn't involve using words necessarily, or doesn't involve using words in the same way that a more masculine, orderly person would try to do. It's not to say that there aren't women who are not rational, or structured, or pragmatic in the same way that men try to be controlling, and vice versa. Just saying that these are usually associated spiritually with each other. That masculinity has to do with order, and femininity has to do with chaos and freedom. You know, let me. You know, I'm gonna pull out a fucking. We're doing this shit, dog. Yeah, dude. There we go. So you have like the feminine quality, which is structureless. It's chaos. It's love. It's colors. It's freedom. And you have this side. It's like, ooh, we're boxes. Ooh, dotted lines. Look at that shit. Ooh, look at that shit. Oh, shapes and rules. 1, 2, 3. It's like that. You get me? Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, I just wanted to do that. Oh, it looks like the music's over. And put it on for just another 20 minutes or something. Lol, I never get emotional signs from anyone. You're not tuning into it. You can get emotional signs. I understand that there are certain reasons why some people can't do it, or they have a hard time doing it, but I think it also has to do with the way that we were raised to focus on certain things, and that we would use things like science and or any form of categorizing, that we cling on to that, and we're told that we could find that in anything if we just look hard enough, but no, people are a lot more complicated than that. Late night YouTube gave us Taoist bong. That's what we're getting. Patience, everyone. There's gonna be obviously a lot of work done before this episode is able to come out. A lot of work has to be done. Oh, I forgot this one. Talk about string theory. I don't know anything about string theory, sorry. Bung, would you say that the universe is one self rather than many? I mean, it's both. Because, you know, obviously you and I are living in the dualistic universe right now because we're interacting with each other. You know, if we were living in a non-dualistic place, we wouldn't need to tell each other that. But because we live in this material plane where I interact with you, you interact with me, and we somehow individually gain something from that, even though we're the same person. Yeah, no, it's both, but just remind yourself that these two things, like I did with the, you know, the yin yang, we need, both is correct. These two need to exist with each other. It's not like a gray. You can't just make a gray and be like, you can't just be like, oh look, I solved it. You know, I solved Taoism. No. These both need to exist. So yeah, I would have to just say both. We have both a dualistic and non-dualistic universe. The fact that the lines we draw keep failing under certain circumstances is the proof that we are both. And you know, if you wanna keep scrolling back and seeing how simple we can get with this, you could just do it with numbers. You know, you can say like, let's erase everything in the universe, and let's just have a pair of shoes. Everything in the universe is gone except for a pair of shoes. You see the shoes. You could see, like, you could be like, okay, well, those are two shoes. That means there are two things in the universe. Or you could be like, no, you could say that's one thing because it's one pair of shoes in the universe. Or you could take the statement, this sentence is false, and realize that sentence doesn't work either. That sentence, it doesn't work. The structure is just an illusion. We it's a fun game that we play where we pretend everything has structure and order, and then people's lives fall apart, and there's always going to be tension and war and drama and all that jazz, you know. But we pretend there's sustainability, and if there is perfect sustainability and people walk around acting like they're smart enough to solve it all, then why isn't there sustainability? It's in everyone's best interest for it to be sustainable. It's because it isn't. There is no sustainability. It's an illusion. Everything changes in the universe. And that's a good thing. Change is inherently good, even if it is changing into something bad. The fact that things change is good, you know. Because it means the universe is working. If everything was static and frozen in time, I mean, that can also be good if you want, but you wouldn't be able to tell, really. You know, time traveling has more to do with you paying attention with where you are and tuning into, well, slowing down your own body, essentially, because it's just a psychological thing, really. It's just the way we perceive reality is time. It's through the lens of time. We differentiate things using time. It's just another ruler, it's just another tool for measuring the universe around us. We say that instead of being like those two things are 5 foot apart, we say that those two things existed 5 years apart. Thanks for the £5. Get Eli Play. It's not much, but it will probably buy you a cup of coffee. Thanks for your efforts from Austria. Oh, dankeschön. Get Eli Play. I appreciate that. Yeah, I bet you have good coffee in Austria. Unsustainability is the only thing which is sustainable. You're damn right, Dan. Yo, Bong, what is your new fashion line called? It's called Homeless. Being a homeless pirate. It's more of a self-help book than a fashion line. Well, Bong, please stop talking about reality and teach me how to draw a mallard duck. Unfortunately, mallard ducks are part of reality. There we go. I think this is how they look. I actually can't remember. There we go. Oh, are you German, Lord Bang? A little bit. I don't know enough to speak full German. I just know, like, basic phrases. But on my father's side, I am German. Too much change is bad change, Master Uguay. Well, too much change is relative to whatever the situation is. But change is change. You know, it just happens. And fighting against it, one way or another, is gonna cause suffering. Even if you think the outcome is better in the end. It's always gonna cause suffering. You make your reality. Yeah. You make your reality. Because, you know, who are you? You are the tools around you that you use to experience, you know? So, like, forget a human being. Get a little human being here, right? We have what would be called your consciousness. What is that? Right? Well, you would say like, oh, it's my eyes, it's my ears, it's my taste, it's my feeling sensation. Well, if you strip all those down, what does that lead to though? It's just like a combination of, it's just, those are just nerves, right? Those are just 5 separate nerves. Attached to the mega nerve in your brain, which is just a combination of energy, of your, which is just what we call our consciousness, which is really strange because it doesn't actually answer the question. Have you heard of the Tibetan skeleton dance? It's about being fully aware of death and freeing yourself from the fear of death. Yeah, I've heard about a few of these meditations that help you just sort of focus on death, and because it is the ultimate form of change. Most one can do is change, turn it into their advantage. We are a hyper-intelligent race of bald apes. You telling me we ain't adaptive? Yeah, just turn it to your advantage. But you see, the language you use there is perfect. You turn it to your advantage. When people try and force something, it doesn't work. And even when it does work, it doesn't work because you haven't learned anything. You've created a false confidence in yourself when you've turned that ship against the wind current, and you just so happen to not sink, thinking like, okay, this will happen next time. It's not going to. You turn with the wind, you know, as any sailor would know or any surfer would know. You don't force anything. Check Discordianism out when you get the chance. You explain the sacred Chow. What a synchrodipity. It was fate. She is. Hail Discordia. Check Discordianism. Okay. I'll look that shit up. Consciousness is a state of being. Exactly. It's just a being. This actually a dance when monks dress up as these two skeleton deities. It's really neat. Oh, it's an actual dance. That's interesting. If you take the same consciousness, strip everything it was, but the consciousness replace everything else, will you still be the consciousness of the old or the new? No, you would just be the consciousness. That's the point. It's the being. You can replace this body and these eyes and his mouth, his tongue and his ears and all and his nerves. You can replace it hypothetically with something. And the state of being that you are is, well, it will be the same thing because, I mean, it'll be the same thing in the same way that, me dying and a baby being born at the same second just so happens to be me. Like, it'll be that level of the same thing. Because consciousness doesn't physically exist. It is our state of being. So if you take somebody down to their eyes, and their brain and their tongue and their ears and their nerves and all that jazz, that's a fun, gooey sack man. And we like to try and personalize it and say that we have a soul. You know, like, ooh, look at that. Look, I'm a soul now. Look at that shit. And we making all the arguments about it being not physical and not real, but that's kind of what we are. Deep down, we are the nothing that we're so afraid of. You know, if you remove the organs, if you remove the senses, and all of that good shit. It is like an onion. When you peel an onion and you're like, where's the center of the onion? And you keep peeling the onion and you realize that there is no center of the onion. That's what the onion is. You. You're like an ogre, you know? The pieces that make up us, the tools that we use to navigate every day, our legs that we use to go around the world, our vision, our memories, our habits, these are the tools that make us up. And that's why I say we are everything, because the layers that make us up can extend out of just our physical body and into the rest of reality. You know, the oxygen that we're using, the house that we're using, the people's lives we affect, the nature around us that we affect, everything is interconnected in that way. And our awareness just happens to be sort of hyper-focused onto this area, because we are experiencing the world through this. Hey, I really like your videos. My favorite is a giant from Sirius. Always wondered what that video meant. It has to do with like the confidence of man and all that fun jazz. Does consciousness matter in the overall meaning in the universe? I mean, what is there in living? What value does it have? Um, I think it's fun enough to just be, to just exist and not take things so seriously. Because if you have this idea that you need to get somewhere and you realize that everything is a machine, is kind of like a big machine, like a system, and that, you know, people with more power have more control over your life than you do, and you think, well, what's the point of it all? You would be nihilistic if you feel like you need to be somewhere else, if you need to progress forward into doing something. And that's what a lot of people, especially if you live in the West, especially if you lived in a very industrial place, that would be the mindset. Is like, you yourself are pure, by yourself you are not a very good person. You need to work up to this place. You need to move forward. You need to get more of these qualifications or whatever. You need to keep working. Because deep down you don't believe that you are good enough yourself. And that's kind of what we've been taught, but really just being in this moment right now, just right here, that is just enough, you know? That itself is just enough. And you know, whenever we do that, whenever we think that, it's like, okay, yeah, but what next? You know, that's always going to be the habit. Like, okay, what about after that? You know, this was a nice, fun, relaxing second, but what about after that? You know, what are we going to do after this? I have to do this, otherwise the day wasn't worth it. I have to be doing something, or else I'm going to feel like shit. You know what I mean? But if you are just okay with where you are now, then you wouldn't have to feel that way. Like, truly okay with where you are. Do you ever read Lovecraft, especially the Necronomicon? I've read some of Lovecraft. It's pretty fun. Do you have a mindset, an ism, like optimism, nihilism, etc.? I don't know what I'd call it. That seems silly. Why worship a higher power when you can improve yourself above it? Okay, I'm not sure you really heard what I said. I don't worship a higher power. You don't have to, but you see what the point I was trying to make just in what you said. You can improve yourself above it. That task is gonna be forever. You are never gonna be happy if you take it too seriously. You have to acknowledge that whatever task that you're taking seriously now, you're allowed to take seriously, but that it will end at some point, and that you have something else to do after. And that no matter what it is, no matter how sad and upsetting and degrading whatever the next thing is, you are just gonna do it. Just do it. If you have to do it. You know, just do what you want to do. Do what you've got to do. And just be happy with where you are now. It can always be worse. And even when it gets worse, the more accepting you are of the less exciting parts of your life, the less painful it's going to be when things start going south. You know? The more accepting, you have to practice that muscle of acceptance. And it is a muscle, you actually do have to learn. It's not a literal muscle, you know what I mean, but it's difficult. It's difficult to learn to accept. Talk about how to try to see a form of reason and logic in the universe, but it's just all an illusion. Yeah, it's a useful illusion, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say illusions in a bad way. Do you have schizophrenia? No, I don't think I have schizophrenia. Not sure why I was about to laugh when you asked that. I was just thinking that like you might have been like insulting me. I don't know if there's a god or gods, but I'd very much like to think so. The afterlife isn't something I'm betting on, but it is something I'm hoping for. I see what you mean. The old philosophy of work yourself to the bone, or the sad thought's gonna eat you alive. I live it. Or the sad thought's gonna eat you alive. I live it. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people live that, and some people live it more than others in this, depending on how they were raised. Highly recommend Rats in the Walls by Lovecraft. Deals with the cursed lineages and what man came from. Yeah, actually, I have read that. I think that was the first one I read. I'm digging this character design was for. It's for confinement. It's for episode 8 of confinement. Gonna be having something along these lines of this person. A person shouldn't believe in an ism. A person should believe in themselves. Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah. Yeah, that works. When I'm here right now, I hear fancy music. Good. Dance in it, if you feel like it. And let me enjoy this. Life isn't just a series of waiting for things to be over, said Frank. Yeah, see, that's exactly it. It's literally just about being here, being in this exact moment. You know? Sometimes for me, that's looking at my hands and going, well, mostly because my first experience on ego death was me having an out-of-body experience, well, that's what it feels like. I acknowledge that I didn't leave my body necessarily, but I had an ego death. So I felt like I was leaving my body in a way. And so sometimes I look at my hands to remind me that I'm here. Not because I think that I'm disappearing, but because it sort of triggers that comforting feeling in my brain that, like, oh, I'm here. That's right. I forgot. I was lost in drawing. I was lost in a conversation. I was lost in a thought. And then I totally forget that I'm in a body, you know. So I just get... Everyone does it, you know. It's to some degree where we're lost or we're not lost. We're lost or we're here. Getting lost in thought, getting carried away by a daydream or we get caught up in our bullshit or a drama or something. And we just forget that we're here right now. It's just a tease when Connor takes over KFC single-handedly. Oh, man. Putting an eye patch on to take over KFC. Nobody knows your identity. The past is pain, long lost. The present is stress, overwhelming. The future is filled with scary deadlines. Well, the present isn't stress overwhelming. The present is the present. It's what's happening right now, so it can be anything, and it is everything. If I was a god, had depression, and didn't believe in myself, would that be blasphemy? Yes, it would. You should believe in yourself, whether you're a god or not. The soul just confirms that Bung is a cult leader. Could you imagine? Oh, man. Just a space cult. We have a space cult. Well, death is just material life form, puberty, and we start a new tale of life as floating space gas, like we were promised. Whoa, that's trippy. This is slightly overwhelming, isn't it? Is it? I'm sorry if it's been too overwhelming for some of you. I just really like this conversation. You ever watch Prehistoric Park starring Nigel Marven? Seems like a show up your alley. I think I've heard of it. Space Cult. You're welcome to Space Cult. Heaven's Gate 2.0. Let's go! Yeah, dude. The music is gone. Yeah, you're right. Just 1 second. I improved myself during quarantine and I've accepted everything. It's a huge epiphany of acceptance and inner peace. Sometimes I think at random times that I could die right there and not have regret. Damn. That's so good. I'm proud of you, man. It's because it's a rough, hard-fought kind of place to be in. And it's not an end goal either. It does. We always just sort of slip back and forth between being present for quite a big chunk of your day, and then suddenly getting back into these habits, and then there's never a static place. But at least you know what the independent value of being in that place is like. The independent value of being so present that you feel one with the universe just because you're sitting on a fucking couch and zoning out, just being totally aware of all of the feelings around you, all of the physical sensations in your body, just being there. That independent value by itself, that memory, is something that helps me remember to keep coming back to this good habit, the good habit of meditating and eating healthy and being active and listening to my body and responding to it. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna head off stream now because I've gone over 2 hours, but it was really good. It was pretty good. Do you listen to music while you stream? I did, and it just ran out, and I timed it in that way specifically so that I could know when to stop streaming. About to sleep. Could you record a sleepy time jam? Okay, all right, Spectrometon, I'll do that for you. Go to sleep. That's my Sleepy Time Jang by Dave Borowitz and the Fancy Dancers. Good night, and keep spinning in space because it doesn't make you that dizzy.